Hi, and welcome to part 6 in our series covering the stages of construction. This week we'll be covering the area of painting, and we'll cover both painting the interior of the house as well as the exterior. After the trim and cabinets have been installed, the next phase is to paint the walls, trim, cabinets, and exterior of the home. Our first step in this phase begins with prepping the walls and the trim for painting. At our company, we don't use textures on the wall of our houses, but instead do a level of finish that allows just a prime coat, then 2 coats of paint on the wall for a very smooth and clean look. Texture is mainly used by companies that do a lower level of quality finish on the walls and is used to hide imperfections. In order to do this level of quality and make the walls look clean and smooth, we have to do extra work to remove any of the imperfections. We will never get all of them, but enough so that the finished walls look clean and smooth. We achieve this by having our superintendent walk the house after sheetrock is complete, using lights to identify and mark all the imperfections. The sheetrock company will then come in and apply a thin skim coat over the marked areas. Then come back later and sand over each area. The end result will be a clean, smooth wall surface that the painter can now apply their paint. The first stage of painting is to prep the areas for applying the prime coat. And for this stage, the painter will first use putty and caulk to cover all the nail holes and imperfections in the trim, and caulk any open joints in the trim and cabinetry. They will then spray the first coat of prime on these areas, let it dry, then sand the areas. They will repeat this step so the areas have 2 coats of primer. After the areas are primed, they will prepare the areas for the 2 coats of enamel. They will repeat the previous process and start by using putty to cover the imperfections, then sand and spray the first coat of enamel on the trim and cabinetry. They will repeat this step so each area will have 2 coats of enamel. I find this very interesting to watch because they will typically use a red or yellow color putty that easily shows the areas need to be sanded, because if they didn't do this, it'd be very hard for them to identify which of the areas are working on and which of the areas need to be sanded. After they finish painting the enamel, it's time to paint the walls. First, they'll use a brush and cut in and paint the walls where they meet the trim and cabinets. And we'll follow up with a paint roller to roll paint on the walls and the ceilings. And they'll do a single coat. Then later on, toward the end of the project, they will do a second coat of paint on the walls and the ceilings. And this will complete the interior of the house. For the exterior, it's typically the same process, where they will prep with putty and caulk the body and trim of the house. Then they'll spray with a primer in both areas, but they will only do a single primer coat on the body and trim, and follow up with a single final coat of paint on the body. And lastly, a single coat of enamel for the trim. Thank you all for watching. We really hope this video will help you on your home building journey. If you want to see more, please subscribe and like this video. Also, if you're searching for more information on building a custom home, check out some of our other videos. Or if you're just looking for a custom home builder here in Houston, then visit our website at aspirefinehomes.com. Thank you again for watching.